Today we're going to talk about MBTI and depression, and we're going to explore some specific Myers-Briggs personality types and depression. Is there a veil over your personality type that you just can't explain? It could be because you're feeling depressed. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of melancholy that sometimes intuitive feelers like to revel in, that kind of gray area when the clouds are in the sky and you're deep in your thoughts and it feels like this layer of sadness that feels kind of good because it evokes different thoughts or poetry. Situational depression is when you feel depressed because you're going through a tough situation or a stressful situation, and so you feel depressed as you navigate through it. Are you depressed? Unfortunately, many people watching this are. Are you feeling like you're delving into a deeper layer of depression? Depression puts a veil over everything we do. It can make it difficult to do your best, and it can be very painful and exhausting. It's like carrying your heaviest blanket on your back and trying to do all your work, or wearing shades when it's sunny. You're smiling, but you feel very dark inside. Enjoyment is gone. It's hard to have fun. You're isolating. You want to be alone all the time. And that doesn't matter whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. It feels like you'll feel terrible forever. Anyone can experience depression, but some research suggests that introverts are more prone to depression because they're more self-critical about how they're doing on certain tasks that they have to do in life. And they can be overstimulated by our world, by the demands that are placed on them to multitask and keep up with a very extroverted world. Introverts are often misunderstood and are expected to conform to our extroverted world, which makes up 75% of the population, because introverts have a more intense inner world. So we need to understand introverts better and give them the space to be who they are. So what can you do if you're feeling really depressed? Well, first of all, I would suggest counseling. And now there are counseling services that are provided that you can do right within your home. You can talk to someone via phone or email. Life is tough and everyone goes through something. So for some people, they're experiencing depression because it's a chemical imbalance, and other people, it's a series of life events like breakups, losses, divorce, your child is acting out, you're having job issues, or just plain old disappointments in life. You may need to take medications, but you would have to see a doctor or psychiatrist. One of the signs of depression is a deep need to isolate. And we're not talking about introversion, needing to get your energy back by being alone, but you need to incorporate some activities into your day like painting or drawing. Get some Play-Doh that you can squeeze and squish, coloring, playing little games, or doing some type of hobby. If you have an animal, you want to make sure that you're interacting with that animal, doing fun things, talking to the animal, processing your thoughts. If you're into sports, go outside, kick a ball, throw it up in the air, bounce it, make shots, do something. It's so important to move around when you're depressed because it increases those chemicals in your brain like serotonin and makes them activate. So if you like to exercise, then exercise. But if you're not a hardcore exerciser, just walk around your house, move, play some music. What are some home projects that need improving? Do you need to clean out a closet? Do you need to make your flower bed look better? Try to identify the root cause of the depression. Is it from childhood issues or problems or unresolved pain? Is it from a current breakup? Is it jobs going bad? What is the issue that is creating the depression? And if you can't identify anything, it could just be a chemical imbalance. You can write in a journal or find someone to share your thoughts with. If you're feeling low and you don't have anyone to talk to, you can call the National Suicide Prevention number, which is 1-800-273-8255. And don't be ashamed. Take that step. There's always someone out there who's willing to help. So let's take a look at different MBTI types and depression. ENTP. When ENTPs are not given the space to explore areas of interest, they can become frustrated or depressed. They like being active, involved, and having areas in their life that they're passionate about. If they're stifled too much in life or too many schedules, they can become depressed. One way to tell if an ENTP is depressed is if they're not motivated anymore and not doing the things that they enjoy. ISFP. ISFPs like to be positive, upbeat, and have fun. They have certain standards and values that they live by, so when those are continuously challenged, it can bring them down. If they're around people who are too negative or in a relationship where their feelings are disregarded and they're being mistreated, or they're part of organizations where their ideas are continuously dismissed or put down, they can spiral into depression. INTPs. If an INTP loses a close friend or someone they really trust, they can become very down. They may try to partake in social activities to increase their mood and decrease their discomfort, but too much socializing may be draining, so they may retreat into solo activities to feel better. They may have emotional outbursts, which is unusual for the reserved INTP. It is important for them to have a safe place to express their emotions. INFPs. Some consider the INFP to be the MBTI type most prone to depression. They feel things on a deeper level, are sensitive to others, so their internal makeup can increase the likelihood of depression. It's hard for them to detach from pain around them, and sometimes they can feel misunderstood. It's important for them to limit time around less sensitive, harsh, or emotionally unstable, toxic individuals so they don't take that energy in. Because they are in Fs, they may have a hard time hiding their unhappy feelings. They have to guard against people who constantly put them down. It's important for them to connect with someone who can understand them and be supportive. What helps them is participating in humanitarian causes like feeding the homeless. ESTJ. ESTJs can fall into depression when too many areas in their lives become out of control or out of whack. When they're trying to make things happen and they crumble, they can become temperamental as a way to let off steam and from feeling aggravated. They can become discouraged when they're not making the things happen in life that they want. They may need time alone or to schedule structured activities that make them feel in control again to get out of the rut. ENTJs. ENTJs may submerge themselves into work as a tactic to avoid depression and push it away. When they don't feel successful, continue to come up short in their goals, it can eat away at their self-esteem and lead to depression. They have strong personalities and are used to leading, so it may be difficult for them to make themselves vulnerable enough to share unhappiness with others. One of the keys to them moving out of depression is to find someone they really trust to confide in, and that person could be someone to collaborate to help them to see things more clearly. ENFJs. ENFJs can get tangled in their complex internal world of emotions, so even though they can identify their depression, it may get tangled into a myriad of other emotions. They're very susceptible to the depression in those around them and sad happenings, which can easily help them spiral into a state of depression as they relate vicariously. They can go into deep analysis of their own feelings and can sort things out. They're at home with other people's emotions and can take them on with ease, helping them navigate, but they can feel far less comfortable sharing their feelings of depression with even people they feel close to because they don't want to interrupt someone's day or they feel so alone like they can't be helped. Sometimes talking about their emotions can make them feel worse, so they stuff them inside and try to deal with them on their own. They need to be told and reassured that they have the support of someone and given permission to really open up. INTJs. INTJs can use their ability to rationalize and use logic to explain why they shouldn't be depressed. They may not believe that their depression makes sense. Some INTJs may find ways to act out, which could make them feel guilty later. Disappointments, imperfections, and having too high standards for themselves and others can lead to feelings of despair. When an INTJ feels depressed, it's important for them to engage in activities that make them happy or also help others in constructive ways. INFJ. INFJs can cycle into long periods of depression in their lives when they get stuck in past situations like childhood situations or family relationships that have caused them great pain. They can feel down by negative things that are happening in the world. They don't like feeling powerless, but when they do, it can take them into an unwanted state of sadness. They can become too perfectionistic and hard on themselves when they are in this state. It's okay to turn these feelings off for a while and take a much needed mental break. It helps for them to lighten up on themselves, praise themselves for their efforts and their many good qualities, and change their way of thinking in small ways to lift their depression. Leaning on someone they truly trust can help. They need to remember that there are people enjoying their lives who have made more mistakes and have done far less good than the INFJ. Go do something kind for yourself and for someone else. So do me a favor, if you feel like videos like this really help people, then hit the thumbs up button and also share this video with anyone who you think may be depressed, whether they understand Myers-Briggs personality types or not. Thanks for watching Tams PsychAdvice. Until next time, bye!